G'day legends, I hope you're all fantastic. On today's video, I want to show you how I make YouTube videos from the filming, recording, and editing perspective to getting them up on YouTube. Hopefully this video won't go too long and hopefully it kind of inspires you to either get behind a camera and put some videos up and make some noise, or maybe there's a few little tips and tricks in here that you can grab for your own YouTube videos. First and foremost, what am I using to record this? Well, over here, I've got a secondary camera set up, and you can see on my desk, I've got my Canon EOS M50 camera. Next to it, I have a Shure SM7B microphone picking up my voice. I'm running my guitar through my Axe effects today just for ease of use and because it's pretty much what I use 90% of the time when I'm playing at home. And over in the second part of the rack on the desk, I've got a Universal Audio Apollo X8. On the Apollo, you've got console. So you can see that for channel 1, that's my voice, I've got the Neve preamp, Unison plugin, and I've got an 1176 and an LA2A set up to process my voice. So that's just printing into Pro Tools, which I've got open over here. And then the guitar is just going to its own channel in Pro Tools. I've got that little bit of guitar recorded, which is pretty handy. The only issue is I've got camera mic audio and guitar mic audio at the same time. So if I went through and I was like, hey, I'm doing a video and I'm demonstrating lead sounds now, check this out. I'm going to end up with multiple parts where my vocal mic is picking up the sound coming out of my studio monitors. So I need to deal with that first. And I also need to deal with the fact that my room is kind of noisy. So what I'm going to do now, because I'm taking a screen capture of Pro Tools, is very quickly show you how I go and edit the audio. There's going to be a super condensed version of this. Then we'll jump into DaVinci Resolve and I'll show you how I edit the video. I'm going to leave my main camera on though, and probably do a little cut to where I have a voiceover telling you about how I turn everything up. So this is what my room looks like without the lights on. I've got a softbox from Amazon for the main light there, turn my camera on, turn on this cool blue light for, YouTuber colors. And then to sync video and audio, hit my guitar. G'day legends, I hope you're all fantastic. On today's video, I want to show you how I make YouTube videos. And I start talking. Next up, I need to edit out the sound of my studio monitors from my vocal mic when I'm playing guitar. So I just zoom in Pro Tools and manually chop it. There's a lot of other methods that I've seen, but I think this is the cleanest and most effective way to do it. Pretty straightforward. Make sure that I don't forget about any tails or anything like that. I'll chop the end and then I'll just bounce it out and import it. I should mention that I use iZotope RX voice denoise to take out noise from my voice. I also use iZotope Ozone. There's a de-esser preset, which works really, really nicely. And then I use the iZotope Maximizer in Ozone for the finished product to get the levels right. This is my voice without RX denoise and the de-esser. This is my voice with denoise. This is my voice with denoise and the de-esser. Next, I'm in DaVinci Resolve, so I need to import all the video and audio clips that I'm going to use, sync them, and then edit them down. You simply just right-click and go import media. So thanks to the magic of television, I've now got my main video and audio clips in. So let's just work with this main clip down here in Resolve, which I should mention you can grab the kind of limited version that I use for free. Just drag the clip down here, and you will probably see a little audio waveform show up over here. Next, I'm going to grab the audio that I bounced out from Pro Tools and place it somewhere underneath this. I'm not going to bother mucking around syncing it because I can simply go in here, go auto align clips based on waveform. It will process it, and just like magic, look at that, I can now bring the camera audio down and I've got me talking with the processed audio. Picking up my voice. I'm running my guitar and hopefully it's in sync. Sometimes it maybe takes like a few seconds to actually synchronize today just for ease of use and because it's pretty much what I use 90% of the time when I'm playing at home. And so that's pretty good. I can see everything synchronized. I can see that, clearly here's the guitar audio. So what I'm going to do now is just trim all of this. I'll go through here. I'm going to hit Command B which will blade it. I'll delete that. I'll delete this empty space before it, and then I will just come through here, right at the end of the guitar audio, trim all of that, trim this little section here. You kind of get the idea with this. Close that. Now I've got a nice continuous clip. I've got that little bit of guitar recorded. And there you go. That's what I talk about when I talk about the magic of television. You see in here, I actually made a little mistake when I was talking. So let's have a listen to what I said, and then I'll cut it out. I'm going to end up with multiple parts where, often I forget how to speak. So I just do another take. So I'll come over here. Now, what's interesting is there's going to be some delay tails over here. So what I like to do is cut that off, big stupid face over here. And I'm just going to leave the delay trails on there, but kind of drag them under the timeline and then do this. That way, I get my main talking with some delay tails underneath it, which I think is kind of fancy. I'm going to end up with multiple parts. So that makes it nice and slick. And, for a long video, let's say I did a half an hour video like this, which does sometimes happen, it might only take me 5 minutes to kind of go through and just trim all the little clips down, and maybe another 5 in Pro Tools, removing all the camera audio from there, or I should say the sound of the monitors being picked up by my vocal mic, as we saw earlier. So that's pretty much it. I'll do that, tidy it up. I can import my little intro sequence and stick it at the start or the end, and then come over here and just export it for YouTube. I don't want to upload directly to YouTube. I'll give it a name, I'll hit export, and I'll do the thing. Now, of course, the actual process for a video like this is a little bit more involved because I have multiple camera angles that I've got to sync up. I actually just sync up the audio manually in this case, and you can see that I've had to play around with the screen recordings and drop those on as well. Basically, this is what my finished project looks like. There's a bunch of cuts in there. It looks complicated, but it's a pretty easy workflow, to be honest. I've even gone ahead and filmed my outro over here, which you're about to hear. That's it. My workflow is pretty much down for the type of videos that I do. I'm very quick and efficient now because I have done this thousands of times by now. Funnily enough, though, this video was a little bit more convoluted than my usual video because I had to film the editing process. So if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments section below. Overall, I would say with my setup, having good lighting makes whatever camera you're going to use a lot easier to get good results, because the more light you have, the more information you can capture, and the better the end result is going to be. Invest in good lighting before you go crazy with your camera, because a high-end camera with crap lighting is not going to look anywhere near as good as decent lighting with, a decent enough camera. And this little Canon that I'm using, I'm pretty happy with. I've been using it for a few years. I like it so much that I actually bought two. And then, of course, if you're doing what I do, which is making guitar noises, the real investment should be in the guitar noise part of it. I don't really have any aspirations to be, a cinematic filmmaker or anything like that. This is all pretty utilitarian, and it's all about getting the ideas across. There you go. If you like what I'm doing here on YouTube, you can check the video description. There's a bunch of links there to help support the channel. You can come to Discord and chat about this more. Otherwise, I'm going to play you all out with some Heaven Above. Have a great day.